Hello. As some of you might already be aware, I've started this podcast on poetry where I'm sharing one favorite poem every day. So, the poem I'm going to share today is called The Missing Tooth. The poem is by Nabanita Kanungo. She's a poet from Shillong and a contemporary poet of her times. So, I'll just read the poem. The Missing Tooth. There were reasons for which we had it painfully uprooted. And now the gap of the missing tooth is an embarrassing memory in the mouth. But the tongue is a child, habitually searching for a world where it is not. It's a short piece, but it works. William Carlos Williams famously compared poetry with machines. He said that poems are more physical than they are literary. The way the words are structured are more physical in nature. I will go a step further and say that a poem is like a machine so much because just like a machine, a poem should also work. That is very important. It can be a small machine, not an insignificant, but a small machine like a safety pin, or it can be a much larger machine like a motor or an assembly line or an entire assembly line. But what makes a poem good is when it works, and that is very important. And what comes into picture here is something that poets, aspiring poets like us, need to understand, is that poetry is not just about the content, it is also about the form. How you are writing the poem, what is the form of it. The what in a poem is the content, what you are writing about, what is it that you are writing. But the how of it, how are you writing it, what is the effect it is going to create, what is the structure, how are you devising it. And devising is a very important concept here, something that the Russian formalists also advocated. They said that more than psychology or psychological analysis of a poem, or more than historical analysis of a poem can be looked at much more scientifically. They use the term as astronayani, which means devising. I mean, the closest English word we have for it is devising. Again, we come to the idea of that making a poem work, and that is where form plays a great role. And I think what Nabanita Kanungo has done brilliantly in this poem is she has achieved the form. The content is short, crisp, but the way the poem is presented is brilliant. A couple of other examples come to mind where the sound or the effect of the words in a poem play a much larger role. I don't remember the exact shlokas, the exact lines, but a friend had once read these to me. There is a section in Mahabharata where Janmejay, King Parikshit's son, is conducting Sarpa Yagna. He is conducting this sacrifice where because he has pledged that he'll kill all the snakes in the world, because the king of snakes, Taksha, had killed his father Parikshit. So he pledges to kill all these snakes, and he's conducting this yagya. And as we read that section of Mahabharata, a lot of words have this sh sound to it. There's a lot of sh used in those lines. So you can literally hear the snakes hissing as those lines are read in the poem. That doubles the effect of that fear or the sense of you being surrounded by snakes, and snakes coming from all directions and falling into the fire. That's one part. Another example that comes to mind, and there are many, poets are highly aware of the ear decisions they have to make. Poetry is heard more than anything else. It is, even when we read a poem, we are reading it aloud in our head. So it's the ear is always functioning. Another poem that comes to mind is Nirala's Badal Rag. This is a Hindi poem by Suryakant Tripathi Nirala, personally my favorite poet. I will read some of his poems in the course of the podcast. But yeah, this is a poem, Badal Rag. I'll just read the first two stanzas of it. It's a long poem. I'll read the first two stanzas. Just see how the sound works in this poem. Badal Rag. झूम झूम मृदु गरज गरज घनघोर, राग अमर अंबर में भर निजरोर, झर 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 निर्झर गिरिसर में घर मरु तरु मरमर सागर में, सरित तड़ित गति चकित पवन में, मन में विजय गहन कानन में, आनन आनन में, रव घोर कठोर, राग अमर अंबर में भर निज रोर. So you not only visualize the rain, but you also hear the sound of the rain. You hear the sound of the thunder. That's what language can achieve, and there are many such examples in Rabindranath's poetry and Ghalib's poetry and whatnot. So the effect of sound is very crucial to poetry. I'll read the poem again for you, and just see how the poem kind of crescendos itself to the ending. The last stanza where the tongue is a child, you are actually the poem meanders for a while, and then it kind of hits you in the end where it is not. Just listen to it again, and to be able to appreciate it more. The missing tooth. There were reasons for which we had it painfully uprooted, and now the gap of the missing tooth is an embarrassing memory in the mouth. But the tongue is a child, habitually searching for a world where it is not. This poem is from Nabanita Kanungo's collection of poems, A Map of Ruins, published by Sahitya Akademi. It's a 70 rupees book, so you can always get a copy of it and read more of her work for yourself. She's a brilliant poet. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening.